Hello, everyone. Well, today is October 14th, and you know what? That day stands out for a lot of people. But 40 years ago today, Ozzie Smith stepped into the batter's box against Tom Niedenfuer. And the most famous words you'll hear in Cardinal history, three words: go crazy, folks. And Ozzie Smith is with us today. And Ozzie, first of all, 40 years ago, think about that, man. 40 years ago, maybe the biggest home run it's not maybe the biggest home run you've ever hit in your life. A lot of things. What have you been up to for the last 40 years? I don't think I've seen very much of you since the home run.
Well, a lot of golf, a lot of bogeys. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride, Mike. In that, when we look at it, you say 40 years. Where did the time go? For me, it was one of those special moments. I was asked recently about the three most important moments in my career, and I started with the play in San Diego, the barehanded play in San Diego, and then of course winning the World Series in 1982, and the last one being the 1985 home run that allowed us to go back out to Dodger Stadium. It put us up 3-2. And as you know, we had not played very well out there, but um, I guess that was a year that we were destined to make it to the series because Jack Clark hit a home run against Niedenfuer out there that propelled us to the World Series, and that was a magical year.
Well, magical year for a lot of reasons. With the exception of winning the World Series, I thought one of the other shortcomings was you had an MVP season. You
Hmm.
finished second in the voting to Andre Dawson, who hit 49 home runs on the last place team. So I'm not sure if he wasn't on that team, maybe they'd be in AAA. I'm not sure. But when you look at your numbers across the board, you had a phenomenal year offensively. The defense spoke for itself. And one thing that stood out for me that particular year, and we see it today where strikeouts are so abundant in the game, you struck out 27 times. Think about that,
Hmm.
folks. 27 times in an entire season is the amount of times you struck out. And I know you always took pride in that, but it seemed like the perfect storm took place for you that season where the defense, as we mentioned, was good. The offense was good. And Whitey could hit you virtually anywhere in the order. Now, granted, you had Vince at the top, but you were a great two hitter. You were a great six hitter. You were an outstanding eighth hitter. And you were able to do all the things that gave Whitey, it appeared, the versatility that he needed to make that a championship team.
Yeah, I even got a chance to hit third one time that year. So that was that year that I think we were picked to finish last in 1985, and it allowed us the freedom, Mike, to go out and just play. And Whitey, I think he deserves all the credit for what we were able to accomplish because it was his genius at being able to put a team together from a chemistry standpoint. We may not have been the greatest team, but we played probably better as a team than anybody else in baseball that year, which enabled us to get to the World Series. We didn't beat ourselves. We kept the ball in the ballpark, and when we kept the ball in the ballpark, because of our ability to catch and throw it, and our baseball acumen, I think it's what propelled us to the World Series. And the most frustrating thing was that we were not able to bring it home because of game 6. But it was a wonderful year, man. It was a fun year. Probably some of the most fun that I've had playing the game because up and down the lineup we had guys who were exciting. Vince certainly was the spark plug that made all of that go. And when he was going, we were going, and we only had a couple times during the year where he thought he was supposed to be the power guy, and we had to remind him, Vince, you're the leadoff guy, not the power guy. Just get on base and make things happen. And there were many times where he got on base and I hadn't taken the bat off my shoulder, and he was standing on third base, and I said to myself, how nice is this? And
And
as you said, I didn't strike out a whole lot, just put it in play, and we were up 1-0 before the game even started.
you use the term baseball acumen, and you played on a lot of good teams in your career. Was that one of the smartest teams you ever played with? Because when you stood on the field, I could look at everybody on that team and say, that guy knows how to play. And again, you've seen a lot of players
Yeah,
in your career. Where would this team stack up?
yeah, That would probably stack up as one of the better teams. You know, we won it all in 1982, but I think 1985, 87 was a good year, but I think 85, from a baseball standpoint, we probably had some of the most talented guys, and the baseball in the 80s for us was exciting every day. It was fun coming to the ballpark because we knew we had a chance to win. And we didn't know how we were going to do it, but with our overall team speed and our ability to create so much havoc when we did get on the bases, it made it easy coming to the ballpark to play. And of course, Vince was a big part of that, and we missed him terribly in the series.
All right, let's go back to the home run for a second. Tom Niedenfuer was having his way with the Cardinals throughout the season. What were you thinking
Hmm.
when you stepped in the batter's box? And I remember this the graphic hasn't hit a home run from the left side in X amount of at bats. So what made this at bat different for you?
Well, it wasn't any different, Mike. Well, I guess let me say that it was different from the standpoint of the way things turned out. In 1985, you had introduced me to Mackie Shieldstone, and that introduction was made simply to allow myself to become a little bit stronger, work a little bit harder with weightlifting and um, um, nutrition. And I'd learned to pull the ball. I'd always worked hard at being a better offensive player. When I say strength, I don't mean to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but to back the defense up. For instance, if I hit a line drive the same distance as a big guy, the likelihood of his falling in was a lot greater because they were back, they were deeper. And so my idea was to back the defense up, and I'd learn to pull the ball and hit the ball down the lines at spacious Bush Stadium. And so in this particular instance, the Dodgers had always pitched me hard inside, soft away, hard in, and I think I was behind in the count actually,
You
and
were.
he was going to blow me away with a fastball. Well, I was, I supplied the technique, he supplied the power, and history was made. And history was made because the great Jack Buck was at the mic as well. And I had a chance earlier today to listen to the whole at bat, and of course Mike and Jack had talked about the fact that I hadn't hit a home run, and that wasn't the threat at that particular time. And I certainly was not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. I was certainly trying to get myself down hit the ball down in the corner and get myself in scoring position. And magic happened.
Yeah, magic is an understatement because when you hit it and you knew you hit it well. I mean, the way you rounded the bases. I remember
Yeah,
it hit off the pillar
the
of the
the
ballpark and it
pillar.
bounced
Yeah.
back on the field. And there were some people that thought, well, maybe this is a double, but you knew all along that once you hit it, you knew it maybe. Well, obviously, it was as well hit as you've ever had one from the left side. What was that feeling like rounding the bases, knowing what you just done?
Well, I tell you, you keep your eye on the umpire, and in playoffs you got guys all down the line, and the guy on the outfield was signaling home run. So
Hmm.
here again, I was running real hard right off the bat because it was my goal to get in the scoring position. And so when he circled that the ball had hit above the yellow line, I knew that was a magical moment for not only me, but for all Cardinal fans, because it's that one thing that people talk about now. They knew exactly where they were at that particular time, and it sticks with them today. So when you're a part of something like that, Mike, you never forget it. And we're in a business that we're blessed to be able to create memories that last a lifetime, and that certainly for me was one of those memories that last a lifetime.
Aside from going in the Hall of Fame, is that one play, that one home run had the most impact on your life?
Say again.
I said, aside from the going into the Hall of Fame, did that home run have the most impact on your life moving forward?
Well, I'll tell you what it did, Mike. I'd always, and I'm not going to say just me. I think it was our generation. Our generation of player wanted to be noted as a well-rounded player. We didn't just want to be one-dimensional players. And my goal was to be a well-rounded player. And I think it was at that moment that people started looking at me as much more than just a defensive player. So yes, it had a big impact, and um, I think it proved not only to people but to myself that I was a better offensive player than I was being given credit for.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I don't think you ever got enough credit for until later in your career. You made yourself into an offensive threat. I mean, when you first broke in, you know, putting it in play was tough, difficult. But after a while, I thought that maybe you worked
Yeah,
harder at that than maybe your fielding, and it proved in that certainly that particular year, 1985, that you were that well-rounded guy and you were a tough out, and that's something you maintained from that point on. It seemed like for the rest of
yeah.
your career.
Well, yeah. Putting it into play wasn't the problem. It was just putting it into play in the big leagues is different than putting it into play in the minor leagues. When you put it in play in the big leagues, and you're not, you don't have any drive on the ball, or the defense is able to play in. Um, it, it was easier to get you out, and I came up against pitching, and I say pitching, I mean pitching, not just throwing. You had guys that could move it
Yeah.
up and down, in and out, and change speeds. I'm talking Nolan Ryan, Fergie Jenkins, Tom Seaver, Woody Fryman, Jerry Kuzman. The list just goes on and on of great Hall of Famers who I had to learn to hit. Now, my defensive prowess allowed me to remain at the big league level to learn the art of hitting, but that was something that when I came into the league, I wanted to be well rounded. I didn't want to be one dimensional. So I continued to work. I had a batting cage installed in the basement of my house, and I learned to pull the ball. I learned to hit the ball the other way, doing all the little things that it takes for a ball club to win, the things that we're watching today in postseason. It's the team that does those little things. The big things happen because of the little things that you do to put you in a position to your offense in a position to be successful. So I prided myself on that, and Whitey also understood the little things that I was doing every day that were going to allow my team the best chance of winning. So it's nice to be in a situation where you have a manager who appreciates the little things that it takes to win every day, and that was one of the things that Whitey was good at.
All right, now fast forward, you end up being a teammate of Tom Niedenfuer. How often did that conversation come up about the home run? Knowing
Believe it
you,
or not,
you
it never
probably
came
had
up much.
somebody else
It
like that
never
to
came
use.
up.
It never came up from you.
No,
I'm sure
some other
somebody looked at
people.
you.
Yeah, right. Some other people. Some other people did, but then we explained to Tommy that we felt sorry for him, so that's why we brought him over here.
And also, you remember the last left-handed home run you hit, or was that the only one?
Uh, no, I had a teammate. You remember Kenny Hill? Was it Kenny Hill?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Kenny Hill. He was pitching for Montreal, and
Mhm.
I took him deep. And then one of the guys with the Cleveland Indians he pitched with the Dodgers, a right-hander. I can't think of his name now, but that I think I had 4 or 5 left-handed home runs before my career was over. That that we can count on one hand. It's not hard when you can count them on one hand.
Well, Ozzie Smith, if you just hit one, the one you hit 40 years ago today is the one we'll always remember and appreciate what you meant not only to St. Louis Cardinals, but certainly this great community and certainly baseball itself. Congratulations, happy anniversary. We'll do this again before the next 40 years, I can promise you. But enjoy your day. And again,
All
thank
right,
you for
Mike.
sharing the great memories, sir. And we'll have a good time. We'll see you down the road.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's Ozzie Smith on STL Sports Central.
Hey, Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers get $300 in bonus bets when DraftKings launches on December 1st. Download the app now and place a $5 bet when DraftKings goes live, and DraftKings Sportsbook will bring everything you need to elevate your game day, including Live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. And when DraftKings officially goes live in Missouri, you'll be betting with the sportsbook app trusted by millions. It's safe, it's secure, and has fast money withdrawals. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code STL Sports to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when DraftKings goes live December 1st in Missouri. That's code STL Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.